Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. Today you find me at the Eurostar terminal in central London and I'm just about to jump on a train to Paris. Anyway, I just quickly wanted to say that I'll be visiting the fabric shops in Sacré-Coeur. I'm going to film as much as possible while I'm there so I can kind of take you with me. When I get home, I will go back to the studio and show you my inevitable purchases that I anticipate. I mean, I haven't got there yet, but I can't imagine I'm going to come home empty-handed, can you? Yeah, and we'll have a general catch-up. Anyway, let's go to Paris. So I'm lucky enough to be about an hour away from London St Pancras, so it's quite easy for me to jump on the Eurostar to go to Paris at 6 and be there by breakfast time, really. Anyway, all the information about getting there and getting around is below in the description, and I have just really focused on the Sacre-Coeur area this time, and all of the shops are pretty close together. So I started at Reine, which actually means queen in French, and it's one of the largest stores there in the Saint Pierre area. So before you go, check the opening hours because they've got half day on Monday, open Tuesday to Saturday, closed on Sunday. But importantly, their pattern department is closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So just check that before you go. So it's over 3 floors. They have got a huge amount of dressmaking fabrics. They've also got interiors and hardware. They've got haberdashery and obviously the patterns department that I've already mentioned. So you can see me here having a wander around. This is on the floor where you come in on the ground floor. Some really beautiful fabrics, beautifully displayed. I love the mini mannequins that they have, that they drape the fabrics on. I've never been fabric shopping in Paris before, not to retail stores anyway. So this is up to the first floor, and you have, I think they sell ready-made curtains and curtain accessories here as well, but they also have lots more dressmaking fabrics and I think more outerwear, sort of woolens and double-sided quilted fabrics, which I bought some of that actually, and really nice jute fabrics, which I also bought some jute fabrics. Here you can see the outerwear faux furs, a really great range. The displays are just beautiful, and the range of colours I think are particularly nice, and that I think really struck me. Here is the pattern department. You don't get this in the UK anymore. You haven't got anything quite like this in London. Haberdashery, beautiful ribbons and trims, and an absolutely vast selection of buttons in a fantastic choice of colours. They also have sewing accessories, a huge range of hand sewing needles and machine needles as well. Beautiful tassels and pom-poms and a rainbow colour selection of zips as well. It's a really great store, well worth visiting. Next stop, Le Coupon de Saint Pierre. Before I get too into this, I should explain, in case you don't know, coupons are actually cut lengths, and some of these stores just sell coupons which are cut lengths. Tissue Rain sell fabrics off the roll. Some of the shops sell fabrics off the roll and they sell coupon lengths, so they sell both. Anyway, so this is a lovely store and they have some very interesting fabrics, but they also have another store in another part of Paris called Modes à Travers, Fashion and Works, where you can do workshops, as well as a high-end shop around the corner, and I'll put links to those below. I think it's called Les Folies de Tissus. I didn't go there because I didn't have time to go to every single store in the area, but I just went to a selection. So you can see some of the coupon lengths, so most of these are 3 meter lengths I think, and they just sell them for it's 3 meters for 30 euros or 20 euros or whatever. So you buy the length, not 1 meter at a time, and it's got a huge range from lining fabrics to tailoring fabrics to prints, to jerseys, to coating fabrics, and some occasion wear fabrics as well. I bought an amazing jacquard fabric which I'm going to show you at the end, but it was well worth visiting. Next, on to Sacré Coupons. They have 2 stores, and this is one of them. This store sells leathers, sheepskins, real and synthetic furs, jerseys and knits, and I think a bit of outerwear from what I saw. they it's really, it was a bit disconcerting because they've got mirrors all along one side. I kind of thought it was bigger than it was, but it had a really great range. You can see all the leather skins hanging up. I actually bought some pieces, some small panels of leather for a project. I think, yes, I'm actually looking for them. I found some there. Outerwear fabrics, so you've got lots of faux fur, some wool fabrics, coating fabrics, boucles, quilted lining fabrics by the looks of it, and just a really great range of leather skins. You can see them in a huge range of colours there. Meltons and sort of felted woolen cloths as well, and linings, and a huge range of fabrics. They also have a small range of trims as well, sort of braids and bindings that they also sell. So if you're in the market for leather skins, well worth a visit. Next, we have Coupon Place Saint Pierre. They've all got very similar names. I think this shop really excelled at occasion wear fabrics. Very sort of high end. So you've got embellished fabrics, you know, beaded sequins, embroidered velvet, devores, lace, embroidery, beading, jacquards, brocades, sequins. There were tailorings and outerweights and prints as well. But you can see as I just basically walked through filming, so you could see the vast range of fabrics that they do have. I mean, they do have plainer fabrics like plain tailoring fabrics, but some of these brocades and jacquards and embellished occasion wear fabrics were really stunning, really outstanding. I mean, they were very expensive. There was a length of I think it was like a silk scarf print, and I think it was 3 meters, but it was €100, and I had to just draw my horns in, otherwise I would have spent a fortune. It was, I have to say, it was extremely tempting. Yeah, I did splurge a little bit. You can see more of the range here. Animal skins, plain jerseys, more embellished and embroidered, quite lavish fabric. So if you had a special occasion wear project, it would be an absolutely excellent place to go to. Brocades, all over lace. Next we have the other shop that's part of the Sacré-Coeur group. I think they have 3 shops altogether, but I believe this is their main shop. And as well as having lots of coupon cut lengths, they have a lot of fabrics on rolls, and they had quite a lot of high-end fabrics, but a lot of not so expensive ones as well. I thought it was a really good mix, a really good cross section of fabrics, and I did buy something here actually. I think these are some of the folded coupon lengths. So they have polyesters naturally, but they had silks, cottons, linens, wools, denims, lace, tailoring fabrics and lining. There's a really lovely scarf print there which I wanted, but it was a bit too much for me. It was a bit too extravagant because I'd already bought a few things already. But you can see boucles, coating, jackety fabrics, faux fur as well, silk organza. That's my husband saying hello. He was my main cameraman. Lots of great coating fabrics here, meltons, wool checks, some tartan, double-faced fabrics, more checks, a really great range. I bought a length of a really quite unusual looking, it was a linen, no, sorry, a wool cotton blend, in a colour woven stripe. Really quite unusual, and keep watching because you can see that at the end. So just round the corner, you've got a shop called Frou-Frou, which does have dressmaking fabrics and I believe some patterns, but it's quite geared towards quilting and crafty projects. They've got a huge range of printed cottons and cotton threads and all things to go with it as well. Great selection of braids and trimmings, tassels and zips. You can see dressmaking projects there, lace trims as well. They had an absolutely massive range of ribbons. So velvet, satin, voile, grosgrain, colours, different widths, different edging detail. I mean, it was extraordinary. I mean, it was just a huge range. And then they had this really cute range of haberdashery patches in prints. I think they're iron-on patches, which were really cute. So this shop was a bit different to the rest of them. So I think it was more geared towards crafting. You've got fat quarters there as well, which sit alongside the bolts of fabric, which you could obviously buy by the metre, but well worth a visit again. Okay, so round the corner, Marché Saint-Pierre, which is basically a haberdashery shop. Haberdashery heaven, huge range of trims and sewing accessories here. Threads, overlocker spools in lots of colours, various trimmings, huge range of sewing threads, generally in different, polyester, silk, etc., with the range of colours, pom-poms and tassels again, and smaller trims. And this massive wall of buttons. I think out of all of them, this had the biggest button selection, because you've got this whole wall of buttons that goes around the corner, and you've got buttons on button cards as well, which was just incredible. Oh, there you can see on the left, you can see all the different threads and the vast choice of colours. And then they had this whole wall with moving racks with all their trims on, from, again, laces and braids and ties and even chains, sequined ribbons alongside satin ribbons, lace, brocade trims and pom-poms and ric-racs and velvets. Our penultimate store, and the last store in Sacré-Coeur, because I've got one more somewhere else, Marché Saint-Pierre Dreyfus. This is quite a large store, and it's over 5 floors. So as you go in, they have a large range of beautiful African batik prints in glorious colours. And the store itself is quite old-fashioned. The story of this shop began back in the 1920s, when Edmund Dreyfus was a fabric merchant with a barrow, and he bought janitors' houses in this area in Saint Pierre, and that's kind of how the store began. And the store itself is quite sort of old-fashioned, and it's got a really lovely feel to it, with the old-fashioned wooden counters where you go and pay. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so the fabric selection is fabulous. Beautiful ginghams, and again, as I found in other stores like in Tissue Reine, they have an amazing selection of colours. Look at these madras checks with they have plain cottons to sit alongside. Really beautiful. Again, they had jute fabrics, and just a great range of prints for occasion wear, and then plain occasion wear fabrics too. You can see some sequin fabrics here. There are some chiffons as well. Really amazing. Cotton prints here. More cotton prints. Possibly more sort of craft prints, I would say, these sort of ditzy small scale prints that they have. And then on upstairs, I think, so the next floor we went to was the floor where they have it's called the haute couture fabrics, haute couture floor. So you can see they've got some lovely boucle tweed, Scottish Chanel cardigan jacket style fabrics, high quality plains. The colour range, again, I know I keep saying this, the colour ranges are just really great. And they had jerseys, so they'd have all their jerseys, tartans there. They'd have a row of jerseys and a huge range of colours, and then they'd have the rib trim, some nice animal prints. They'd have the plain rib trim in the coordinating colours alongside. Cotton velvets, I think these are linings or their jerseys, I can't remember. Again, look at the colour range, fabulous. More plains. Those are the jerseys with the ribs above. that coordinate with them. Again, more prints. I didn't actually buy anything in here, but it was only because I'd already bought so much already. You'd be hard pressed not to like anything in here. There was such a huge, huge range. Beautiful linings. Silk dupions, fab colours again. Tailoring fabrics. I mean, look at this wall of tailoring fabrics, and not just in masculine colours. They've got a range of colours as well. Really beautiful. And then I made my way up, and I was feeling a bit jaded at this point. I made my way up to the 5th floor, which is where they have their haberdashery department, which I have to say did not disappoint at all. Again, an amazing, amazing range of what you would expect and more. So you'd go into one of these haberdashery stores and the departments like this, and you know, if you go into a store in the UK, at least you're looking for popper studs, you've got a couple of variations, but they had them in different finishes, different sizes, different shapes. I mean, it was really, oh, the choice is fantastic. So they've got great selection of ribbons, as you would expect. Grosgrain ribbons, satin ribbons, var ribbons, printed ribbons, buttons again, a huge range of buttons. Great colour range. Practical things like Velcro fastenings and elastics too. So they really, really have everything. So I think if you've got a specific project and you're looking for really specific things, it would be a great place to come if you can get here, and you can do it in a, I'm thinking of doing it again in a day trip, and just totally doing this fabric area and another one. They've got yarns as well. Yeah, so really that was another standout store, a bit like Tissue Reine. I would compare that to in terms of its range and its display as well. So at this point, I really needed some sustenance. So we stopped for a quick croque monsieur in a cafe. And then we went over to Le Halles area, to La Droguerie, which is one of my favourite shops. And I know it's one of my sister's favourites. So I had to visit, otherwise I'd have been in big trouble. It's also their 50th anniversary. I love this shop. The displays are just beautiful. They have an amazing selection of buttons and trims and patches and little sewing sort of motifs and accessories. It is predominantly yarns, but it's just the displays. I mean, I think these are all beads. They have this wall of glass jam jars on shelves, and it's just so beautifully put together. There you can see braids and ribbons. These are for making jewellery. So if you're into making jewellery, it's a really good place to go. They have some really cute bits and pieces there. They also, I think, have bag making kits and accessories. Yes, you can see them. And there they have craft books and craft kits. But this is their main sort of yarn area. And I just think it's beautiful. It's so well displayed with all the colours grouped together, and then you've got this big wall at the end with all the cones, and it's floor to ceiling yarn, so it's knitting heaven if that's your thing. But it's, you know, if you like to go to shops like this, it's just worth visiting, just for the, it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's well curated, and they've got these old school storage drawers as well, where they have some of the haberdashery, I believe, and it's beautiful. So that really ends my shops in Paris. So I'm back from Paris. I had the best time. It was absolutely fabulous going around those fabric shops. I used to go to Paris a lot for my job as a designer, but I used to go and do research in the shops, and I used to go and visit fabric merchants, but they were trade wholesale fabric merchants, so it wasn't like this. I mean, this was going to, last week I went to retail fabric shops essentially, so it was a very different experience, and it wasn't something that I would do when I was working in the industry. But it was a real eye-opener. It was a great experience. The stores were fantastic, especially the larger stores like Tissue Reine and Marché Saint-Pierre. over 3, 4, 5 floors of fabrics and haberdashery and accessories, and I can't really compare them to anything quite like that in the UK. The closest thing is possibly Mood Fabrics in New York that I visited earlier this year. If you can get there, go. It's a great experience. You could do it from London, from the south or the southeast in a day on the Eurostar. You could fly from somewhere else in the UK. I guess I'm talking about from the perspective of somebody who lives in the UK. Honestly, it was so inspiring. I just was beside myself looking at all these fabrics. I loved it. Anyway, I focused on the Sacré-Coeur area. I know there are other areas with fabric shops, but I didn't want to be there all day because it's really tiring, and my husband agreed to come with me, and he just would have been bored beyond belief. As it was, he was great, and he filmed me in lots of the shops, which you've already seen the content, so you get that. So they were all mainly around or on Place Saint Pierre. As I say, there are other areas. So what I have done is I've put a list below of the shops that I actually visited to, and if they've got a website, there's a link to their website there as well. You've got their address as well. Check the opening hours before you go. I think at least Reine has half day on a Monday, and the sewing pattern department isn't open every day either. So just check that before you go and plan your visit. The area is really easy to get to. It's really close to Gare du Nord, one metro stop, which is great for me because the Eurostar goes straight into Gare du Nord. The shops are really close together. You can spend as much or as little as you want because they've got this system of selling coupons, which are sample lengths. Some of them are really good value and inexpensive. Some of them are very expensive, and then they've got fabric on the roll that you can buy lengths of however much you want. So it's kind of really up to you, but it's just very inspiring going somewhere like that, and it's nice to go somewhere different sometimes, isn't it? So I had a really, really great time. So I'm going to show you the fabrics that I bought. The first one I'm going to show you is a wool cotton blend, and it's a colour woven twill stripe, and it's from Sacré-Coeur's main shop that you saw. The stripe goes across the fabric from selvage to selvage. It's wide width. I think I've got about 4 meters, and it was about €30, and it's lovely. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. Let me just stand up a minute. I'm undecided. Could be wide trousers, could be a really nice kind of overshirt, stroke jacket, could be a nice waistcoat, could be, I don't know, any suggestions welcome. So that's one for my stash. And then in their other shop that I went to that you saw, they had a shop specialising in leathers and things. Last of the big spenders, I bought 2 panels of tan leather. Not very much money, but I wanted to make a small leather pouch, and so these will do the job, so they were perfect. So I bought those. And then in the first shop I went to Reine, I bought 2 lengths of fabric. So I actually bought some jute, and it's really beautiful. It was their last piece, so I got about $1.20 for the price of a metre. I've got a lot of it. It's got this beautiful diagonal weave, and I plan to make a boxy tote bag in it if my sewing machine allows me. I have got a heavy duty sewing machine. It's thick, but it's no worse than a really heavy denim, I don't think, anyway. So I bought that. I think that was about €14, which I thought was beautiful. I've been looking for something like that, but I've not been able to get it here, at least not at a reasonable price, that is. Okay. And then again in Tissu Run, I bought a double-faced quilted fabric, well, 2-sided. So you've got this beautiful floral trailing design on one side, and then you've got a stripe on the other side. I've got 2 meters of that, and that was €18 a metre. I don't think it's extortionately expensive. I wasn't really looking at the price. I just liked it, so I bought it. So that's going to be for a reversible jacket or midi coat, perhaps, if I can get enough out of it. And it's going to be reversible, so that's probably going to be a bit of a challenging make for me. But anyway, that's the plan with that one from Tissu Reine. And then the second shop that I went in, Les Coupons de Saint Pierre, this was actually I actually filmed this on the side, and you won't remember. And it's a jacquard. It was a coupon of 3 meters, and it cost me €30 again. And it's a jacquard. I'll stand up so you can see the full effect. Let me just. It's kind of a textured, sort of abstract, animal-y sort of jacquard design, and it may not come across on the camera. There's gold lyrics in it as well, and I just thought it was stunning. So I'm going to make a coat with that. Yeah, so I bought that as well. It's polycotton. Yeah, it's polycotton. Actually, let's have a look. There's a label on the floor. Yes, €30 for 3 meters. So it was just unusual. I'll never see it again, so I bought it. And that's what I bought altogether. So not loads, but enough when you've already got quite a stash as it is. So yeah, so I had a great time. I would try and go. If you can go. It's just so, as I say, it's just so inspiring. And what else did we do when we were in Paris? Well, we didn't have an awful lot of time because we left really early on the Wednesday morning and came back late on Thursday. So Wednesday was really all about the fabric shops. My husband went back to our hotel sort of mid-afternoon, and I sort of wandered around a bit more. He had some work to do. We went out, had a lovely meal on Wednesday evening. We were staying in the Saint-Germain area. And then we thought on Thursday, in light of the fact that I'm reading this book about Marie Antoinette in preparation for my vlog about the V&A exhibition on Marie Antoinette, we thought we'd go to Versailles. We probably really didn't have enough time because we were only there for half a day. And I mean, you could spend days there, it's vast, but we did a tour which was really, really interesting. We had a tour guide, so she sort of put everything into context for us. And we did a tour of the main staterooms, I think you would describe them, including the Hall of Mirrors, which was fascinating. It was so busy, always so busy just on a random Wednesday morning, but it's vast and magnificent and outrageous all at the same time. And then we did a little bit of a walk around in the gardens. Unfortunately, it was a bit of an overcast day, and you know, things always look better in the sunshine, don't they? But if you keep watching, I've got a very short piece of B-roll that I took when I was out there, which will be a bit of a taster for the Marie Antoinette vlog, which will be coming up because I'll be including some more of Versailles on that, as it sort of fits in with the exhibition. So that's that. This video's taken me the longest ever to edit. There was such a lot of material, but I really wanted to get over to you what it's like out there, because it's so good for fabric shopping. It really, really is. So perhaps you'll think about going. Perhaps you've been. Tell us your thoughts on fabric shopping in Paris. I mean, specifically that was Sacré-Coeur. I mean, I know there are other areas like Saint-Pierre and other places you can go. So I'm aware, but you know, share them below. This is a great place to share with the sewing community in the comments below. So please do that if you want. And I just really hope you enjoyed it. So please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.